In this video, we're talking all about how to use a virtual assistant to grow passive income. I'm virtually here. Here I am. So let's talk all about virtual assistants. You hear about virtual assistants on podcasts and blogs. People are always talking about virtual assistants. But how do you actually find a virtual assistant? And even more important, how do you actually use one to help you grow your business so that it's a multiplier for your business and not an expense? The very first thing that you want to do is to think about, what do you want to outsource? So often people think, I want to have this perfect virtual assistant that's going to just take things off my plate. And that person may exist, and if you find them, congratulations. But in reality, if that person's out there, they're going to be such a hot commodity that someone else is going to gobble them up quickly. They're going to offer them more money, more satisfaction, or just a bigger audience and opportunity. So really what you want to do is you want to outline, what are the things that you hate doing? And what are the things that you're doing that you really shouldn't be doing, even if you like them? So for example, I hated doing the show notes for my podcast. I just didn't like it. I didn't want to have to listen through it. I didn't want to have to coordinate with a virtual assistant to get the transcripts. I didn't want to touch that at all. So that's something that I can completely outsource. In the middle column, things that I enjoyed doing but shouldn't be doing, I loved doing the artwork for every single podcast. To make that little image that's going to go out there on social media and be on the blog post, I loved doing that, but that was not a good use of my time. So in the past, when I did a podcast, it would take me usually 3 hours or so per podcast to get everything going. Now all I do is I show up, I do the recording, I upload it, I send that link to my virtual assistant, and she takes care of the rest. I can move so much faster because I have a virtual assistant. Next, you want to hire the person for them as a person, not for the role. We want to find someone that's teachable, that you can build into, that you can help them grow their skills. You want to look for that natural intuition. For example, when I was first looking for a virtual assistant to help with graphic design, I posted a posting on Upwork. And I said, go over to my website, take the image, figure out the fonts, figure out the colors, and do the first 5 images. This is part of your application process. The person I hired was so good. She nailed it on the first time with 0 feedback. And now she is one of our top people at Practice the Practice. When you look for a virtual assistant, you want to look for someone that has that intuition that you can build into. So for example, I've put her through trainings on videos, on trainings on design, on ways that she can grow. What this does is it helps that person grow as a professional. It gives them autonomy and independence, which we all want. If we're micromanaging, people are going to leave. But if you can build skills and give them the opportunity to grow within your company, that's what we all want. We want to be able to grow our finances, but more importantly, we want to make an impact on the world. Treat your virtual assistants in that way, and they'll stick around and they'll contribute by giving new ideas to your projects. Next, we want to recognize the 4 things that are always drivers for us. This is also true for all of our virtual assistants. We all want to grow our income, our innovation, our influence, and our impact. And so when we look at those 4 drivers, we want to look at, how do we help our virtual assistants to do those things? How do we grow their income? How do we help them level up? This might be that we outsource them as coaches. It might be that we train them in new ways. It might be that they get a percentage of profits that come in for certain projects. We might want to look at innovation. How do we help them have a voice in what we're doing through our website? If we can do that, it's going to create an environment of innovation that helps us stand out from our competitors. Next, we want to look at influence. How do we help them be more influential? Bring them into your podcast. Put them in some of your videos. Let them do some of the trainings because they have a skill set that will help them have more influence on the world. And lastly, help them create more of an impact. What are they passionate about beyond just your business? See if there's social causes that you can get behind, that you as an organization can grow. When you look at those 4 I's, you're going to have people that are happy in their jobs and also are contributing to help you build passive income beyond yourself. Next, here's a few quick tips on how to work with a virtual assistant. First and foremost, pay on time if not early. Give bonuses if they really go above and beyond. Do your best to help them financially so that they are secure. Make it easy for them to get paid. Next, we want to make sure that from the beginning you have set meetings to give them feedback. Feedback should always be a part of what you're talking about. We want to make sure that if someone misses the mark, we don't have to have a specific sit down, but that feedback is a natural part of how we interact with each other. As well, in those meetings, we want to see that there's some innovative ideas. What is some feedback that they can give, that they can contribute beyond your own ideas? Some of the best ideas at Practice of the Practice have come from our virtual assistants when they've noticed things that I missed. Next, we want to look at making sure we have a clear project management system. We use Trello, other people use Basecamp or Slack. It doesn't matter what you use as long as you're familiar with it and you can keep things moving forward. For me, I have for my virtual assistants a to-do list, a someday list, an ideas list. Those are ideas that I have that they're not ready to work on, a completed list, and then we've added a few different lists within that. It helps us stay organized on the immediate projects that need to be posted, like a podcast, and the long-term projects like a magazine, so that we know where we stand with everything. Lastly, let's talk about how do you make money off of a virtual assistant. There's so many ways that you can build passive income through a virtual assistant. For example, if you have someone that's answering the phones and scheduling, you could outsource them to do the same for somebody else. If you have a graphic designer, maybe you're paying them $15 or $20 an hour, but you may be able to outsource them for $50 or $75 an hour. That then allows you to pay for the time you're using them as a graphic designer, but you have enough income to cover that entire role. As well, have them come up with e-courses and tutorials and webinars so that you can grow and scale faster. When you do this, it allows you to build not just passive income, but passive content. And we know that that content is going to lead to people getting on your email list, listening to your podcast, and coming over to those paid products. So it helps you create more, which brings in a larger audience. If you want the PDF that goes along with this series on passive income, head on over to practiceofthepractice.com/resources. Over there, you're going to find over 30 resources to help you grow your business beyond just your own time. There's that PDF as well as 30 more that are going to walk you through exactly what you need to do. You can pick whichever ones you want, and they're all free. I don't really know how to end that.